There are a number of different practices. However, the remembrance of God, known as dhikr, is the most important spiritual practice which is accepted by all Sufi orders. These practices help a wayfarer to reach the ultimate goal. Dhikr is a fundamental spiritual practice and meditation by Sufis, which must be constant, and there are a number of different ways of practicing dhikr. The two most important divisions of remembrance, or dhikr, are silent dhikr, which is more based on meditation in mind and meditating on breathing. And the second type is a loud dhikr, which is more practiced in Sufi lodges and in group, and it is accompanied with chanting. Sema is another spiritual practice by Sufis. In the West, it is known as whirling, which is not the only way of practicing Sema. The literal meaning of Sema means listening, which refers to listening to the rhyme and rhythm of music, dhikr, and even nature. But by recognizing this harmony and rhythm, you should automatically remember God, how creation is harmonious. And for example, if you look at a tree and the wind is blowing over the leaves, by the movement of the leaves and the sun, it is Sama for you, because you remember God. You will see the rhythm in the leaves. Creation is in harmony is Sama. However, whirling dervishes are the formalized and ritual whirling, or whirling dervishes who are part of Mevlevi order, they have their own practice of whirling, which is a more formalized and ritualized way of Sama. And it is interesting that in Sufi philosophy, each human is a microcosm, whereas in Sama, when you reach the state of union, you represent the macrocosm. And while you are whirling, you hold one hand up and one hand down, receiving from divinity and giving it to the humanity. What is the ultimate goal of Sufism? To reach gnosis, and through gnosis, when one can be annihilated in the divine. Annihilation is the union with the beloved. This state is called fana, which is translated as extinction or annihilation. And it is equivalent of reaching the state of nirvana in Buddhism, and not 100% equivalent, but it's similar to the reaching of the state of nirvana in Buddhism and moksha in Hinduism. There are sayings in the state of union which are called shatiyat, and it has been translated as intoxicated utterances. Bastami says, I am my beloved. My beloved is I. If you see me, you see us both. Two spirits in one flesh, clothed by Allah in a single body. Also, Hallaj used to say, Ana al-Haq, which means I am the truth. These were intoxicated saying out of being in union with your beloved God. So, and if you can see in this miniature, Hallaj was executed because these sayings were unbearable for mainstream Muslims, and it was outrageous. So they executed Hallaj for uttering an al-Haq. Sufis believe that once a wayfarer reached a state of union, he or she will recognize the unity. And through this unity, one can understand that everything is the manifestation of divine. Religions become evolutionary, and it ends to the unity of all religions. If you look at the mystical philosophy of Sufism, they believe that the light of guidance was created before the creation of the earth. They call it Muhammadan reality or Muhammadan light. They believe it was the first emanation from God. And after humanity was created, it was endowed in the heart of each prophet, coming down to the time of Prophet Muhammad. And it was perfected by Prophet Muhammad. The one who recognized this in all religions sees the light of the beloved. So there won't be any hatred. As Hafiz of Shiraz says, let's forgive the 72 sects for their ridiculous wars and misbehaviors, because they couldn't accept the path of truth. They took the road of moonshine. And when you recognize everything through Allah, through God, you will become like Bistami. As Bistami said, I recognize Allah through Allah. And I recognize what was below Allah through the light of Almighty Allah. And Sa'di of Shiraz says, I am married with the one whom the world is married. I am in love with the whole universe, because the whole universe is from him. So beside this evolutional view about religion, also in creation, they have this philosophy of unity of every being. They believe that everything is a manifestation of God. So, if everything is manifestation of love, automatically you cannot hate it, because if you love God and God is your beloved, then you cannot hate his manifestation. And there is a story about Rabia, one of the great Sufi masters. They asked her, if you hate Satan, and she said, there is no place of hatred. I'm so filled with the love of God. There is no place for hatred in my heart. So that is what is real Sufism. Therefore, we all need Sufism in today's world to create love, unity, and rescue humanity from materialization and hatred. I'm done talking. To round it up, let's listen to a poem together.
Is it your face that adorns this garden? Is it your fragrance that intoxicates this garden? Is it your spirit that has made this brook a river of wine? Hundreds have looked for you and died searching in this garden where you hide behind the scenes. But this pain is not for those who come as lovers. You are easy to find here. You are in the breeze and in this river of wine.